Hi everyone, Skip here, and whoa, wow, have I got a jam-packed hour for you today. Well, we're just going to wait a couple of minutes for a few more people to come on. It's 7 o'clock, and I promise you, if you give me your focus, if you give me your attention, you're gonna start to give your body what it needs so that you can start to live a life of high performance. And this performance is going to be in all areas of your life, because you go in all areas of your life. So we want you performing well in your business. We want you performing well in your relationships. We want you performing well in your own body. We want you performing well in your family. We want you performing well everywhere. So there's no doubt that what you put in your mouth is going to have such a powerful effect on how you think, how you feel, how you move, how you create, how you basically start responding to life. And putting dead stuff in is not the intelligent way forward. So let's get started, and we are going to kick straight into it. So and by the way, if you guys have any questions at the end, I will be answering questions at the end. So I want you to get curious. I want you to get like you did when you was a child, ask questions, because that's how we learn. So let's get straight into this presentation. So as I said, this is high performance clean nutrition with myself. So grab yourself a pen, take notes while you're watching. Now for this webinar, it's really important that you watch the screen, because we can learn so much by listening, but we learn most of the things by actually watching, by looking at things. Monkey see, monkey do. So please make sure that you're in a place where you're not going to be disturbed for this hour, and you're going to take notes, and you're able to look at the screen, because there's a lot of visuals are going to be we're going to go on an amazing journey. Some are going to be inspirational, but some of it is going to be shocking as well, because that's the crazy world that we live in. And as you're going to find out, ignorance is not bliss. And we don't want to end up being any one of the stats where the stats are now saying that 2 out of every 3 people are either going to get a heart disease, a cancer, or a diabetes. We don't want any of that stuff. And that stuff can be avoided by making intelligent lifestyle choices. So make sure you've got your pen, make sure you can see the screen, and let's now explain. So what is high performance? Well, it's definitely not low performance, where we've got low energy, where we've got low self-esteem, low confidence, we're low on our creative juices. This is about fueling up your body, fueling up your mind, so that you take the best you into all areas of life, no matter what you're doing. And I'm talking about this from my own experience, because those of you that know me know that I'm traveling the world all the time, and that's why we go back here, you see that I get to do live events all over the world. You see the picture in the bottom left there, that was us filming a movie that we've got coming out. And there are things that I do on a daily basis, rituals that allow me to be a high performer, because even though I've got this crazy busy lifestyle, I'm not breaking down. So some of the things that I'm going to be going through with you today are things that I share when I do my executive coaching. I help all of my clients improve, and I've got an amazing track record for really helping people when they're kind of backed up against the wall, or they're beating themselves up, or they're being their own worst enemy, and stopping themselves from achieving what it is that they want to achieve in life. And there is no doubt that nutrition is such a big part in this game. So we want to be able to perform well without ourselves breaking down. You just have to look at the business world, where people are literally breaking themselves down to meet their next target, to get the next deadline. And we don't want to be breaking down. We want to be having breakthroughs. And so many people are sacrificing their health to get wealth. And when you've got what I'm going to be teaching you as your foundation, you're literally going to become unstoppable. Now, at the end of this, there's going to be a bonus gift for some of you at the end of this webinar, which is this life-changing book, which I wrote, called The 10 Commandments for Health, because health is your greatest wealth, and it's health that lays the foundation of your life. Because if you just go, and you're seeing these professional athletes all over the world having heart attacks and strokes and dying on the field, and people are not around them are going, I don't understand it. This person was so fit, but not healthy. When you have health as the foundation, and then you build on top of that, That's where you get the edge. That's where you start to see the opportunities that other people don't see. That's where you start to grab the market share by offering more value to your clients in or your customers in the marketplace, because we're all after, you know, more influence over people when we've got something to share with people, and we can't share what we don't have. And the best thing I can tell that you can have is health, energy, vitality, happiness, balance. So all of that you'll find through this book. And as I said, at the end, I'm going to be giving away electronic versions of this book to some of you at the end of this webinar. So cracking on. This is the result of people who are high performers. Now, these are getting their results from plant-powered nutrition, and which I'm going to be exposing some of that on this webinar, because all of us are getting older. We can't stop ourselves aging, but how we age, how we are in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, depends on what we do today and tomorrow and every day from then on in. It's not what you do every now and again. It's about creating these rituals so that you really start to wake up thriving with life every single day. And I'm sure, you know, women who are watching this, you'd like to have that that vibrancy that Mimi's got. You know, we've got Mimi in the movie, phenomenal. And I'm sure, guys, you wouldn't mind having a body like Jim here at 77 years old. And it can all be done, and it can all be done naturally. So let's kick straight in. So let's get into some food. Now, I'm going to go through just 2 of the commandments today, which are in the book, just very briefly. And commandment for health number 4 is thou shalt eat correctly. And as Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food. And I explain all of that in detail in the book, where you'll be really, really charged up to want to make better choices for your body, for your mind, so that you start to thrive with this life force energy. You know, the energy that goes into creating live foods, when you get that pulsing through you, ooh, it's a game changer. So let's just give a few little sort of, you know, stats of what's going on. So around 1 in every 11 deaths in the UK is now linked to carrying excess fat. Obesity may soon outstrip smoking as a cause of death. 90% of all diabetes, 80% of heart disease, and 60% of cancers are all preventable with healthier lifestyles and normal body weight. So let's lose the fat. Let's feel great about yourself every single day. Now, let's have a look what's happened to the food industry. Can we trust it? Now, before I get into this, I want to pre-frame you guys to not get angry, to not get annoyed, to not feel that fire burning inside, because we just want to take this as awareness so we can start to navigate around the minefields that are out there. So let's just start with the awareness of, and this was in 2012, and these numbers have gone up, but the percentages have stayed the same. So about $4.6 billion was spent to advertise fast food. So you can imagine how clever these companies are getting to make sure that you buy their food and that your children buy their food as well. And we've only got $116 million spent to advertise fruits and vegetables. So we're not going to be marketed in the same way for natural food as we are for fast food. So we have to be the ones to make intelligent choices. Now, the basics, everybody knows these basics. You know, we're talking about stimulants that break us down from the inside out. And of course, we all know too much sugar, it just gets us wired, you know, totally wired, like that picture, a little kid in the top left. A lot of people, as we get older and older, you become these sugar addicts. A lot of people are getting, like, you know, caffeine addictions, as you can see with the guy on the right hand side, where, you know, people are having these energy dips in the day and they're just, oh my God, I need that caffeine, I need that sugar, I need that, you know, something that's going to basically pick you up. But as you know, what goes up must come down. So if we've got these sugar burn, like these little sugar soldiers inside of us craving this sugar, and we feed them, they multiply. And before you know it, you're not making intelligent choices. What you're doing is you're making choices based on an addiction. And we've got to get rid of these addictions and actually start to live, because if acid is in one side of the scale and alkalinity is on the other, we want to be in the middle, roughly about 7.4, because when we've got our pH to about 7.4, then suddenly disease cannot manifest in that environment. And not only that, you turn yourself into a fat burning machine where you don't even crave sugars anymore. I mean, I used to be a sugar fiend when I was doing gymnastics, so I understand what it's like to crave those sugars, you know, those sugary drinks, the you know, the cakes, the buns, you know, all of that stuff. I used to literally live on that stuff, but I was breaking down. And that's when I learned the difference between being fit and being healthy. So we all know that these stimulants are out there, and those are the common things. But what I'd like to bring to your awareness is reading the labels, because there's so many foods now that are processed. There's so many foods now that are packaged, and reading the labels is just common sense. Now, you actually want to have a read of what's in the labels. Now, I'm now about to start exposing some of the shocking truth of things that is not going to make it in the news, not going to make it, you know, on the newspapers, the magazines, you know, the places where we usually get our information. There are things going on at government level where things are getting passed and they don't have to write certain things on the labels. So please do look for the ingredients and don't be fooled and make an emotional choice, because as we go through this, we're going to start to see the difference between making a nutritional choice and making an emotional choice. And I want you guys to really have the awareness of what you're doing, because without the awareness, there can't be any change. So these are some of the things that are hidden within foods. So we've got things like parabens. Now, there's no doubt that the ice cream sundae, it looks good and it makes you forget all about your rough day. Now, unfortunately, it is most likely to be loaded with these parabens. Now, a paraben is a synthetic preservative. It's used to inhibit the growth of mold or yeast in food. Now, this toxic ingredient has been proven to disrupt hormone balance in your body. It decreases sperm counts and testosterone, and it's been found to be present in breast cancer tissue. So you may want to think twice about selecting that ice cream sundae. And at the end of this, I'm going to be giving you some options of how you can do things like that, but, you know, like the ice cream sundaes, but in a way where it's really, really healthy and guilt-free. Now, we've got BHA. Now, this preservative may be listed as BHA, or they call it butylated hydroxyanilysol. Now, I can't even pronounce it, and I'm definitely not going to eat it. Now, some studies have shown that this preservative has anticipated carcinogens, which means that it has the potential to literally cause cancer. No, thank you. No one wants any of that stuff. Now, instead of eating processed foods like the cereals that you see on the screen, trade it in for, you know, organic, something natural. We want there to be natural things that the planet have made going in the body. You know, we're talking about, you know, the fruits. You know, you just replace that with something natural, and your body is going to reap the difference. You know, these processed things are having serious harmful effects on the body. Now, we've also got sodium nitrate. Now, nitrate is yet another ingredient with potential cancer-causing properties. And this toxic ingredient is used to prevent the growth of botulism and keeps meat looking fresh. Now, you reduce your intake in order to avoid the risk of these powerful carcinogenic compounds. Instead of buying pre-packaged meat, which we know is loaded with this stuff, there are so many other options out there now where, you know, there's falafels, there's, you know, it's time to start exploring other options, because the traditions that we got bought into from our parents, our grandparents, they're not serving us anymore. You know, let's just look at how our ancestors aged. Most of them died of some type of disease, and I know mine did. So it's really important that you really understand that these foods have toxic ingredients in them. Now, if you look at things like chips, they've got like partially hydrogenated oil in them, which is just sucks. Now, this is basically another way to disguise trans fats in your food. So you may see companies or brands marketing items with 0 grams of trans fats, but that could be completely false, because the FDA allows the food to be marketed as non-fats. If it has less than 0.49 grams per serving, the chances are that you're probably eating this artery clogging ingredient without even knowing it. Now, fast food restaurants, frozen pizzas, these are all well known for hiding these trans fats. So simply choose a salad instead. And I can tell you now, before you say, well, it's boring, your heart is going to thank you for it. And when these addictions stop, if you go back and have one of those things, you won't even enjoy it. It's like plastic food. So what else have we got? We've got caramel coloring. Now, this is the attention to all the soda drinkers, all the fizzy drinkers out there. So just know that this ingredient is basically terrible for you. Caramel coloring is treated with ammonia, which can cause potential carcinogens. With this possible cancer-causing ingredient, I'd rather not take my chances, and it's not even worth the risk. So if you need a boost in caffeine or something in the middle of the day, I want to give you a tip of how to do that at the end. I'm going through what to avoid at the moment, but at the end, I'm going to be giving you solutions so that you can really start to thrive with this high performance nutrition. So we've also got food dyes. Now, not only can food dye cause allergies, but it creates mysterious digestive troubles. And it's also a known ingredient to cause tumors. Yes, yikes, I hear some of you say. Artificial coloring and dyes in your food is obviously not natural. Now, according to Men's Health, yellow, number 5, is linked to hyperactivity in children as well. So my suggestion is just don't eat it. And instead of snacking on dyed candy like Skittles, pick up a bag of, natural dried fruit, something along those lines. But again, even if you've got your dried fruit, check that they haven't put colorings and things like that, because they are hiding these chemicals in our foods really, really well. Now, I don't want to lose any of you now. I'm here to give you the facts, and I promise you at the end of this, I'll be giving you guys solutions. So please stick with me, because I know how many of you get emotionally attached to things like meat and cancer, and I'm just giving you guys the facts. This is not me just saying it, just because I live on a plant-based diet. I'm not saying that you should, but I can tell you if you do, or you at least start to reduce the intake, because look, what does it say? Animal protein and meat and dairy cause cancer, and that is the shocking truth. You can check it out yourself. Look at Dr. Colin Campbell, who's a PhD. He exposes all this very publicly, and just so you know, like some of the things that they do, if you look at all the chicks in the bottom left, that's where they live. They live on top of each other. There's high levels, at least 30% levels of like salmonella in these like chicken farms. And as soon as these chicks get born, they literally chop their beaks off so they don't peck each other to death. And then when you see the chicken on the right-hand side, the way they get it looking nice and plump when it's in the supermarket, they just basically inject it with more chemicals. So you are eating jacked up chemicals. Now let's have a look what's in the meat, because ignorance is not bliss. So you've got antibiotic resistant bacteria contamination going on. Salmonella, all this bacteria is found 81% in turkey, 69% in pork, 55% in beef, 39% in chicken. Guys, you've got to listen to these numbers. I know a lot of you like your meat out there, but this is what you're eating. So you got like 29 million pounds of antibiotics was sold in 2011 for meat poultry production. Now that number's gone up, and only 7.7 million pounds sold for human use. Now let's have a listen to this. The USDA caved to the food industry pressures because they have approved 3 toxic meat preservatives, and they said, I quote, according to Courthouse News Service, CNS, sodium benzoate, sodium propionate, and benzoic, I don't know how they say it, acid, will now be permissible for use in preserving and treating meat and poultry products despite having been previously banned. What do you think's driving this, people? It's money. Now look at the meat on the bottom left. That's how it would look before the carbon monoxide treatment, and then after they give it the treatment, it looks like the one on the left, which, you look at that meat and go, looks like a nice juicy steak. Well, just think, looking at a nice juicy bunch of killing toxic cancer chemicals. I'm sorry to say this, but I've got to give you guys the truth. I promise you the truth. I will be getting into the high performance clean nutrition, but you can't get to a high performance if your body is breaking down. Because what do you think happens when you put this stuff in the body? You might be thinking, oh, it's nice, nice, nice. But your cells are not thinking nice, nice, nice. Your cells are trying to use all their energy, all the immune system to be able to get those chemicals out that you're putting in. So let's have a look at milk. A lot of us, drinking milk all the time. So 135 million pus cells in just a glass of milk. That's nice. You know, when you get that pus coming at your spot, so you're drinking that with every glass. You've got 51 milligrams of cholesterol. Lovely. You've got 300 calories and 16 grams of fat. And you've got growth hormones in there, which they're actually giving the animals, so they can take a baby calf that should take 4 years to go from a baby calf to a cow, and they can now do it in about a year. It's crazy. You've got acidic in the protein, which leaches calcium from the bone. So don't be fooled that milk gives you calcium. It completely leaches it because it's got lactose in it. And when you drink that lactose, there's acid. That lactic acid is in the body. Whether you're lactose intolerant or not, doesn't matter. That acid has to be buffered by alkalinity, and it pulls that alkalinity from your bones. So what happens in milk? Yeah, the animals are being raped, and you'll see in a minute that they're being tortured. There's animal abuse, there's murder, there's heart disease, there's breast cancer, obesity, osteoporosis, diabetes. You're getting all this stuff when you're drinking milk, and there's enough studies out there and scientific evidence to prove this. So guys, we're going to come to a point where I'm going to offer some different suggestions for you. Now, there are many, many different types of milk available. Now you can go for almond milk, you can go for coconut milk, you can go for oat milk. I wouldn't go for soy milk because of all the estrogen in it. And here's what they're doing with these cows. They keep them in these places, in these round things, or in these ones, these cages like in the middle, and they basically keep them impregnated 12 months of the year. So they keep producing milk, just like milk farms. And if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, those things are full of animals, just breeding animals for money. And the one in the bottom right, they're kept in captivity like that. And can you imagine if you lived with other human beings like that? You'd get annoyed, you'd get aggravated. All of that energy goes into the meat. And when you eat that meat, not only are you eating all the chemicals, all the toxicity, the steroids, the hormones, all of that stuff, but you're also taking on the fear and the dread that these animals go through. And that's what you're eating. Does it affect your mood swings and your stress levels? Of course, it has a massive effect on those things. And, in my opinion, we might as well start like breeding humans, because, I don't know why we deserve to kill those animals. And, why are we better than any other living thing on this planet? But, it's your choice. And I'm just giving you guys the truth. And I promise I want to get to good choices around high performance nutrition very soon. But also because we've got to know what to avoid. So they're also spraying poisonous chemicals on the land, through the tractors, the planes, the helicopters, the people are going out in the fields and doing them themselves. And if those chemicals are going on the foods and we're eating those foods, we're eating these chemicals, and the body does not respond well to chemicals. So let's just have a little idea of what's going on around the world. Now, that picture in the bottom left-hand corner, when I was out in Mexico filming for the movie, that kid is not the extreme. That is the average kid now. And as it says, you are what you eat. So we're going to start to take responsibility for what we're eating. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys, what I eat to really give you guys, a kickstart in this. So just think about everything that's passed your lips in the last 24 hours. Everything, from cakes, from food, drugs, whether it be drugs from the doctor, commercial drugs, drink, alcohol, cigarettes. All of this stuff is getting in the body. And I want you guys to really be ready to make some lifestyle choices, to make some intelligent choices, so that you can start to live life at high levels. You can really start to perform well without your body breaking down. And like with the guy on the top right hand side, being jacked up with like loads of carbohydrates, again, it's going to just boost your insulin levels, your whole like complex carbohydrates like that are not doing the body any good. Your sugar levels are just going to go up, and it can lead to things like diabetes. Diabetes, in my opinion, is a lifestyle symptom. So we're just going to make things real simple. So we're going to start now. We're going to start to live now. So I want you guys present with me in this moment. Really make sure that you're focused here with me. And to live now when you're in the moment, that's where life is. All we have in life is the present moment. So, are you here with me, or is your attention being diverted? And when you're in the moment, you can start to make intelligent choices. Now, the 3 simple things that our body needs, one is nutrients, because all food is a shuttle system to be able to get the nutrients in the food into your body. Of course, we need oxygen, most important thing. Second important thing is water. So it's oxygen first, because we can only go minutes without oxygen before our liver cells start shutting down, and then our brain cells start shutting down, and then before you know it, it's game over. We go days without water. We can actually go months without food. But what we need is the nutrients in the food, and most of the foods that we eat nowadays are just dead. So let's just have a little look at what's going on around the supplement industry, because now the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that isn't regulated. So thou shalt supplement with essential vitamins and minerals. It's key, absolute key. But as we know, a lot of the ones around the world, I'm going to get into it, are just total junk, basically. So you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. And that was said by Dr. Linus Pauling, who's a 2-time Nobel Prize winner. Now, in 100 years, the minerals in the soils have fallen by about 72% in Europe, 76% in Asia, and 85% in North America. Why? Because of the fast crop rotation, because of the acid rain, because of the herbicides, the pesticides, the fungicides, all the junk that they're basically spraying on the land. And it's just destroyed the soils. So if the minerals aren't in the soils, how do they get in the foods? They don't. That's why we need to supplement. And plants absorb about 70 to 80 different minerals from the soil. Now, minerals can't be made by the body, in the body. They must be obtained in our diet. And I'm going to be going through giving you guys some options very soon. Now, those of you that, and most people take supplements now. Now, I know that over 90% now of the supplements on the market, you're spending your hard-earned money basically on expensive pee. So let's go through it and work out, if that is you or not. Because if it is, we don't want you wasting your money with products that could be doing you more harm than good. So vitamin C, we all know vitamin C is good for us, but vitamin C on supplements is not vitamin C anymore. They call it ascorbic acid, which is basically a chemical compound. So you need all of these components together that basically work as a matrix. They work synergistically together. So you get things like, let's say that, we all had, let's say that you wrote a letter and that you didn't put an address on it. There's no stamp. You didn't seal the letter. There's little hope of that nutrient being delivered to the right place because it's an isolated nutrient. Now, only vitamin C is an isolated nutrient, whereas what you need, what you would find in nature is there would be vitamin C, bioflavonoids, lipids, proteins, carbohydrates. All these things will be working together. And that is what an isolated nutrient, it doesn't contain all the components. Fake vitamin C is basically pure ascorbic acid only, and the body won't know what to do with it apart from peeing it out. So if you've got vitamin C, please go and look at it, and you will see written on it, it will say ascorbic acid. And if it says that, my suggestion to you is throw it in the bin, and don't have that sort of, well, I've paid for it. You will pay for it twice if you put it in your body. You would have paid once with your money, but then you're going to pay again because the cells in your body can't get any value out of it because it's just a chemical. Now, when you're looking at what I'm going to be sharing with you, what we have in all of our supplements are we have in them what we call the superfood matrix delivery system, and these are highly concentrated natural whole foods where everything that you need, where flavonoids, lipids, vitamins, SOD, protein, carbohydrates, dietary fiber, minerals, intrinsic enzyme, glutathione, B-glucan, all of these things are what you find in food in nature. And when you eat that food in nature, it communicates to the body, and the body knows exactly what to do with it. And we could all have the same food, but our bodies would use those foods differently. So this is basically how it works, how you get correct delivery of your nutrients with foods from nature, and also with our superfoods and our supplements as well. And I want to explain the difference so that you guys have the awareness, because the superfood matrix delivery system nutrients, they're all made up of many components. And as I said before, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, enzymes, glycoproteins, lipoproteins, bioflavonoids, phospholipids, all of these things are what you find within food that has basically been connected to, the sun's been on it. It's got the energy from the sun. It's then been connected to like the soil, to the earth. It's then had some water put on it. It's then had, light put on it. It's then had, the energy of the planet. It's weathered different seasons depending on, what the food is. And then when you eat that, you're eating something so strong. This plant-powered way forward now, it literally is the way forward, as you will see when we go, as we go forward. So eating correct nutrition, it's like having a fully addressed, stamped and posted envelope. The body knows where to deliver the nutrients, because without this matrix, you can take something in the body, there's no coding, there's no communication, the body doesn't know what to do with it apart from to eliminate it. So here's a basic graph where you guys can actually see something very simple. So common food components are things that I've mentioned: natural form of carbohydrates, natural form of enzymes, natural form of fats, glycoproteins, lipoproteins, nutrients, amino acids, associated nutrient cofactors. Whole food, boom, you've got all of them. In our nutrients, boom, you've got all of them. In just like natural or synthetic ones that you see in the shops, all you've got is nutrients. There's nothing else. The body will not know how to get value from that. So if any of you guys are interested, what we'll do after this, I'll get an email sent out where you guys can actually read more of this stuff just in your own time, because we're all reading something, whether you're reading stuff online, whether you're reading stuff in like newspapers or magazines. So what we put in our mind is what we get back. So we might as well start dumping good information in the mind, it's things that aren't going to be confusing and things that are actually going to serve us at a high level. So it's time to start to make more intelligent choices. Now, today, more than 95% of all chronic disease is caused by food choice, toxic food ingredients, nutritional deficiencies, and lack of physical exercise. So true. Now, these are some basic things for you to avoid. Now, I'm not just taking things away from you. We are going to give you, some suggestions on what you can do, but either cut these foods out, massively cut them down. And we're talking about processed foods. We're talking about sugars. We're talking about sugar substitutes, because the only thing that can cross the blood-brain barrier should be water. Your brain is mostly water, but we now know with these sugar substitutes that can cross the blood-brain barrier, and these are starting to cause brain cancers. So I know I'm going on about what to avoid, but we have to know how to navigate around this minefield out there. So we've got dairy, meat, fish, caffeine, stimulants, wheat, gluten, white stuff like the white bread, white rice, things like that. So prevention worth way more than a cure. And as it says, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, by Benjamin Franklin. So wise. So now I'm just going to stick a little video on for you guys. Where are we? Here we go. Let's get the video on. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. So this guy is the creator of the Boosted Balance Trainer. So you guys would have seen the Boosted Balance Trainer. You'll see it when it comes up. This guy made hundreds of millions from one product. And this guy, travels the world. He deals with the best of the industry. And we basically got him on our superfoods, and the guy just exploded. And I want you hear what he got to say, and then I want to share a little bit of information with you around them. So let's load this up. All right, so that was David Weck, and that guy's like a legend. I'm sure you've all been to a gym, and I'm sure you've all been on a Boost balance trainer as well. And to get him saying what he said about the superfoods is super cool. Now, I really want to share with you guys these superfoods, because what I've just exposed to you in that sort of 30 minutes or so is the truth of what's going on. And we're all spending our money on food, on nutrition. And what I'm now going to share with you is going to allow you to navigate around that stuff to at least make sure that you're giving your body, and I'm going to make an offer soon that is a no-brainer. I've never made an offer for these superfoods as good as this. So make sure you stay on there to snap this offer up, because I don't think we'll be doing it again, because we're literally just slicing our profit. Purely because I want you guys to try this stuff. I want you to experience the difference when you start to take these superfoods. So, and by the way, when you have these superfoods, it's important for you guys to know that these are not like the ones in the high street. A lot of the ones that have been sold in the high street, they're now using fast crop rotation. They're growing them near where chemicals have been sprayed. Ours are completely chemical free. They're way beyond organic, and you will start to feel the difference immediately. And by having just one scoop of this superfood, you're getting more nutrients in that one scoop than what most people have in a week. So this was, now your blood is your river of life. Now look at the top left, blood. Now this was a guy who's actually in his 60s. And he started to take the, our superfoods, and you can see his blood. It's like weird shapes, and it's all sticking together. And there are blood cells that are split open, and you wonder, you just have to look at that blood, and you know that this person's energy levels are going to be down, their immune system's going to be down, they're not going to be thriving through life. And he started taking the superfoods, and just a few months later, look at his blood below. And it's perfectly round. They're not sticking together like in the top one. They're not, like all over each other. The bottom blood is what you want your blood to look like. Now, we've got two types. There's the alkaline protein and there's the recovery mix. And let me just go through some benefits, because I can guarantee when you know these benefits and how they're going to serve you, you're going to want to try this stuff. And I don't go a day without both of these superfoods now. So here's the benefits of the alkaline protein. It's for anti-aging. It's going to help you to slow down the aging process, maybe even reverse it. It improves the appearance of your skin and hair. It lowers the risk of Alzheimer's. And cataracts. It promotes strong teeth. It improves eye health. It increases energy, increases alertness. It reduces the risk of heart disease and cancer. It's a nutritionally complete food source. So by having these superfoods, they're way better for you than probably most of the foods that you're buying at the moment. It's got anti-inflammatory qualities. It removes toxins from the blood. It helps in allergies and allergic reactions, increases fat burning during exercise. It removes heavy metals in the body. And most of us have got heavy metals. If you're eating fish, you can guarantee you've got heavy metals in the body. If you're living in the city, you can guarantee you've got heavy metals in the body. It helps to purify the liver. It washes drug deposits from the body. It prevents tooth decay. It keeps hair from graying. Improves digestion. It's great for constipation. It improves blood sugar. It helps restore fertility. And it's high in live enzymes. If the food, the supplements, or whatever you're taking doesn't have live enzymes, forget it. The body can't do anything with it. So that's the alkaline protein. And it takes 20 parts, because most of us have got acid in our body. And that acid is going to break this down. And that the ratio is it takes 20 parts alkaline to buffer just 1 part acid. That's how much alkalinity we need to be getting in the body. It is essential, so essential. And as you start to get alkaline, I mean, look at Duracell batteries. They last 7 times longer. Why? Because they're alkaline. So let's have a look at the benefits of recovery mix. Now, this helps to reduce the appetite and helps in fat loss. It helps with cardiovascular health. It dilates blood vessels and reduces blood clotting. It assists in regulating heartbeat and blood pressure, helps to protect from environmental metabolic toxins. It acts as an antidepressant and balances our mood. You know, most of us have mood swings. It balances brain chemistry. It builds strong bones. It helps to reduce PMS, helps to increase focus and alertness, helps with pancreas functioning. It facilitates anti-aging again and rejuvenation, increases energy levels. It stimulates vital organ functions, enhances athletic performance, builds muscle, increases libido. It's high in antioxidants, helps cure allergies. It helps relieve symptoms of diabetic neuropathy, helps with wounds, tumors, traumas, and burns. I mean, just look at all these side effects. You don't get this stuff, these benefits from foods now. You know, most of the foods that we're eating is draining our bodies of energy. So this was someone who just went on them within a few weeks. So women who want nice nails and stuff, this was the guy who went on them. And if you look at the bottom part of his nail, if we look at his nail, all those lines down the nail, it proves that he's devoid of nutrients because his fingernails weren't even growing correctly. He gets on them, literally just a few weeks later, you can see that his fingernail is now growing correctly. And you can guarantee if his fingernail is growing correctly like that, how else or where else around his body would he be benefiting? In so many places, his eyes, his hair, his skin, his organs, everything. So what I'd like you guys to start to do now is get in your mind, how will your life improve by performing at higher levels, by giving your body and mind what it needs? Now, I'd like you guys to write some of your answers down and send them in the chat box. Send them in. How is you're going to have more energy? What happens if you get more energy? You get more creative. What happens if you get more creative? You start to get in more of those flow states. You start to let time be almost non-existent because you know what it's like when we're having fun, time flies. When we're not, time goes on forever. Will it increase your happiness by giving your body and mind what it needs? Will it make your relationships better? Will it actually have a knock-on effect on you financially? Because now you've got more energy, you can create more. When you create more, your self-esteem goes up, your confidence goes up. You go on more adventures. You start to see what's right about the world instead of actually being a part of the problem. You become part of the solution. Write some of your answers down, send them in the chat box because I want you guys to start to think about how your life will specifically improve by you giving your body and your mind what it needs. And in those superfoods, you are going to be your body going to be loaded with nutrients that it's probably never had that amount of nutrients going in the body before. And as we now know, most of the foods that we eat are dead. And even if you're eating fresh produce, we now know that that fresh produce only contains 5 to 20% of the nutritional value it did to 100 years ago. So write down, send them in. I want to see some of them. So let's have a look at some of these plant-powered athletes because I know everyone thinks we're a bunch of weirdos. So these are people, you see the bottom right, that's like before and after. You're seeing top athletes, you're seeing Olympic athletes, you're seeing, people who've got strong, lean physiques, and they're all on plant nutrition. Now, with these superfoods, as I said, you can make healthy desserts. Now, if you guys take the offer that I'm just about to offer you, we're going to be sending you recipes. We're going to be sending you ways how you can start to use these on a daily basis. And we're talking you can make desserts with them. You can make ice creams with them. I always travel with mine. If you look at the one on the left, that's me on a plane. When they brought me some food, immediately I put my superfoods on it straight away because you can guarantee it's still going to be jacked up with some sugars. There's still going to be, we need those nutrients. And without getting charged up by superfoods, you are not going to live life being your best. And you're going to learn how to use these easily every single day. So here's the offer. And it is a no-brainer offer. You guys are going to have to take action today because it's only going to be there for today. So this is to save you time and to save you money. Now, if you go on the website, you know that we sell these each pack for £42. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be giving you a pack of each. So you get one of the alkaline protein, one of the recovery mix, and I'm also going to be giving you guys the 10 Commandments for Health ebook because when you get into that book At the end of each chapter, there's a scroll, and you're going to fill that scroll in, and you will end up living your life off these scrolls. Those scrolls will literally become your holy grail. And no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, you're going to make sure that you've got health as your foundation, because if your health goes, life goes. That simple. So the crazy offer is you're going to get all of the above. Now, so the total of those would be £94 plus the post and package. So today, the crazy offer for all of the above, we're going to let them go for £57, and that's £1.90 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee a day. That's less than what you get at Starbucks, or you go and get, you know, a cup of tea somewhere. And you're going to get one of each pack. And basically and then what happens is, if you guys take the offer, the reason why I'm dropping the price so much to 57 for both packs, that's not for one pack, that's for both packs, is I want you guys to start to notice the benefits, because when you've been on them for a month and you've been taking them every single day, you will see that your performance levels go up, your energy levels go up, your clarity goes up, your focus goes up, everything that you want to go up in life is going to go up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to keep the price reduced to just £64 for each month for both of those packs. Because as soon as you reap the benefits, you're going to want to stay on them literally for the rest of your life. You know, I was saying to someone the other day that there's only been a couple of times when I've stopped taking the nutrients, and it's because I basically ran out. I decided to stay abroad a few times, longer than what has been planned. Ran out of the supplements because I was handing them out to people as well, and it was just like being unplugged. And when I say unplugged, you know, the energy levels went down, everything kind of went down. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in another video, because this guy is he's an expert in this industry, and he went on the supplements himself, and you're going to hear him talking. And this guy, he has top clients, like, you know, Tom Cruise is one of his clients. So, you know, you're talking people on top level. And when they're saying things like this, these people have tried everything on the market. They get stuff before it even goes on the market. And as soon as he took it, he actually came to see me at one of my events at Breakthrough Mastery to order or to pick up a whole load more, because he just said, Skip, I can't believe how things have changed since I started taking this stuff. My productivity's gone up, my business has gone up, because everything has changed. So let's have a look at this video. All right, so let's bring up So basically, you guys have the chance now to really make an intelligent choice. This, this offer, we've never ever sold the superfoods this cheap. We don't have a high markup. As I said, these aren't like the superfoods that you're going to find in the high streets. Simply because we make sure that we're sending. We've got a guy that we send him to the farms all the time. We make sure that there's been no chemicals sprayed anywhere near where these are grown. They let the land breathe. They're not doing fast crop rotation, and we've selected the best ingredients that we source from different places around the world so that you guys can reap the best. And why do I, why? Because my face is on the company, and it can take us, years and years and years to build a reputation, but it can be destroyed overnight. And I challenge anyone to find a better quality superfood, and you're never going to get a better quality superfood at that price. So what we're going to do now is, especially for £1.90 a day, what is that? That's you can't even buy a decent chocolate bar for that today. You're going to spend like £4 or £5 on a decent chocolate bar. And I've blended these superfoods together. They all work synergistically with each other, and that's so easy to incorporate into your lifestyle. You can put them in your cereals, you can put them in juices, in smoothies. As I said, you can make desserts with them. You can sprinkle them on, salads, on different foods, and it changes your whole cellular construct because it's nutrients what your body needs. We don't need to keep clogging our bodies up, and when we're clogged up, our energy levels go down. Everything just basically gets destroyed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up to questions now. So if you guys have any questions, send your questions in, and I'm going to start to basically answer. Okay, so what does it taste of? That was from Natalie. So the alkaline one is a green one. Now, what we use lucuma fruit to sweeten it up. It's not going to be sweet like a lot of the protein shakes, a lot of the ones that are on the market, because a lot of those are basically just jacked up with either sugars or sugar substitutes. Lucuma fruit is, they used to call it like the gold of the Incas. And as I said, if you even mix it with, say, like a nut milk, or you blend it with a piece of fruit, I crave the stuff. It does take a little bit to get used to if you've got a real sweet tooth, but by having this, the sweet tooth just kind of disappears. So HD says, are they suitable for children? Oh, Hina, 100%. Children thrive on this stuff, because remember, it doesn't matter whether you're young, old, or what. The human body, the cells in the body, remember what we went, live now. It needs oxygen, it needs water, it needs nutrients. Those are the three things that we need. I mean, when I was a child, I was being jacked up with so much dairy, so much meat, and that's one of the reasons why, I was so ill. Gail says that lucuma in Peru, they put it in their ice cream. Yeah, when you make, we're going to be giving you guys recipes so that you're going to know how to use this on a daily basis, because when you basically start using this on a daily basis, what you're going to find is you're going to get addicted to this, because you're going to feel so good. So Anne says, what's the promo code? No, there is no promo code. If you hit the button, you'll get it at the price of £57, because it should be 94, but you'll get it at that price. There is no promo code. It's just the way that Infusionsoft does the link. So what other questions have we got? Do you take it in place of food or in addition? So basically, you still do want to eat food, because when you eat, for me, I live on a plant-powered diet, and the reason being is because it's just too dangerous to live on the other stuff nowadays. And as you start to get cleaner, as you start to get more connected with your own mind, your own body in the right ways, you're going to get more connected to the planet. You're going to get more connected to the universe that we're participants in, and basically your you're going to change. Your thinking's going to change, and you're going to start to live with a lot more compassion and a lot more empathy. I mean, I don't think anybody could even imagine eating a pet. And, you know, when you start to live on a plant-powered diet, you start to get more live nutrients in. Now, when you're having fruits and vegetables, there are live waters within those that will hydrate you way more than most of the waters that people are having nowadays. So does it taste of chocolate or vanilla? So the green one, as I was mentioning, that's like a greeny taste, but we did put lucuma fruit in there to sweeten it up. The recovery mix is, and by the way, we use hemp protein as the base of all of them, because hemp is probably one of the most complete food sources for the human body. It's good for us, it's good for the planet, it's good for the animals, it's good for everything. And the recovery mix, we've got raw cacao in there. Now, raw cacao is what real chocolate is. And we've got, oh my God, I'm talking about it now. I want some. It tastes so good. So the recovery mix is a chocolate one. And as I said, you know, you can blend it with like banana. You know, we're going to give you all recipes. You can put them in berries. I did a Facebook Live yesterday and showed you that you can do it in less than 60 seconds. And that's using a blender. If you're just going to use like a shaker where you get like a bottle, you can either put a nut milk or, you know, some type of plant milk in it, and you put it mixes very, very easy. You shake it up and it's ready to drink immediately. And for those that have these energy dips in the middle of the day, and you go for those sugary things or the caffeine, if you go and have like a big spoonful of the superfoods, put some, you know, not a whole glass of water, shake it up, drink that, watch what happens immediately. You haven't got the stimulant of the caffeine in there. And because of all the other ingredients all working together, your energy levels are just going to go up, and you're going to you will feel yourself waking up, but you won't get the jittery stuff that you get with caffeine, or the addictions that you get with caffeine. So let's have a look. What other one? Who else have we got? My happiness increase. Hey, yeah, it will. And this will enable me to get up early in the morning, take my dog for a run in the morning, and basically feel stronger to tackle my challenges and be successful. That's from Samantha. So yeah, exactly. Now, as that happens, you know, you're going to have a lot more fun with those that you love and care about. And pets are a big part of that. You know, instead of you just walking your dog, you'll find yourself playing a lot more, because you'll have that energy that you had once when you was an innocent child. And that's what we want to get back to. We want to get back to unclogging ourselves and giving the body what it needs so the body can do its thing. I mean, we live in the most phenomenal thing on the face of the planet, the human body. We just, you know, out there, nature is so complex. That's why we don't have to be. You know, as I said, you know, reading the labels and all this, if you read our label, you're just going to see a handful of ingredients. I challenge anyone to find, and by the way, if anyone does find a cleaner product, I'll give you our products, because, you know, I'm making sure that ours are of the highest standard. So it's up to you guys to really, really make that choice. And, you know, you've got nothing to lose. You know, I promise you guys that when you start to take these, you will notice a big difference. But it is going to be a shock for some of you if you're junk food freaks. I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. My sister and her son, they really love the superfoods. I said to them, guys, you're not even going to like it. I said, you know, you love sugary stuff. You're not going to like this. And they drank it and went, no, I actually like this. So the taste is not as bad as sometimes I think it's going to be. So what other questions have we got? Let's have a look at some. Okay, so ones on the high street are, yeah, so like whey proteins, I wouldn't go anywhere near that stuff with a 10-foot barge pole. Casein protein is the new protein that's like kicking off in all the shops at the moment. And casein protein is a milk protein. And basically we've got studies now of injecting animals with casein, and we can basically turn on and turn off cancer by injecting casein. So if you're going past, you know, a lot of the high streets and you're seeing these whey proteins, these soy proteins, these casein proteins, note the harmful effect. And the cost of them is way more than the cost of this. So by, you know, booking this, you know, you guys have got to book it now, because, you know, we're going to be finishing very soon. And this offer, you know, it's not going to be around forever. I just want, you know, you guys to reap the benefits. And, You know, I'm going to be connecting with some of you guys, because when you get on it, I'm going to want some of you guys to really, you know, share the benefits that you're experiencing, because as soon as you experience the benefits, you're going to want your friends, your loved ones, you know, your work colleagues, the people that you hang around, you're going to want them getting the same benefits as you. And, you know, why am I just a sucker for this? Because I get to feel so good on this stuff, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and I've brought the cost down as much as we can. You know, we're not making a profit on this round, but I want you guys to taste it. I want you to test it. I want you to feel the benefits of this. So if there's any more questions, I will answer some more questions. Let's have a look. Have we got any more on there? Dun, dun, dun. Can you travel with it? Yeah, absolutely. I travel with it all the time. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, cool. Brilliant. Oh, well done, Anne. Yeah, good stuff. That sounds amazing. Yeah, if you guys get, you know, and I challenge anyone, you know, the reason why I show Joe's blood on there is you guys could have the same. If you went and got your blood done, most of you will be really shocked when you see your own blood. It's such a wake-up call, because, you know, we really think that we're healthy, but we live in a toxic world, and that's why we've got to stop the poisoning, we've got to start the cleansing, and we've got to start nourishing the body on a daily basis. And these superfood blends are going to help you guys with that. So what else? Have we got any more questions? Have I missed any? I'm just going through them all now. Okay, so what's the protein powders made from? So they're all made from superfoods, and as I said, we use hemp as the base. And yeah, I mean, most people are killing ourselves, you know, on protein. You know, we're being brainwashed now, you know, and it's by these companies that want to sell their products. You know, got to get protein in, and there's protein in everything, but what has the right amount of protein is hemp. You know, meat and dairy and fish and all that stuff, it's too much for the body to really thrive on. And when you're eating the meats and the dairy, it drains the body of energy. So in the alkaline protein, we've got, there's spirulina, there's wheatgrass, there's barley grass, there's lucuma fruit, there's hemp. What else have we got? I think that's it in that mix. And then in the recovery mix, we use hemp as the base again. We've got raw cacao, there's bee pollen, and there is coconut palm nectar to sweeten that one up. And that is it. You know, when you have these ingredients where they've got like other sort of greens and protein powders, and they've got tons of ingredients in, it confuses the body. And you don't really want, you know, too many ingredients in. I mean, you think about, like, you know, animals in the wild. Look at like something like a gorilla. It's rock solid muscle, and it pretty much just lives on berries and leaves. You look at something like a racehorse, rock solid muscle again, but incredible speed, lives on nothing but grass. And we've got to get back to nature, and we really need to stop the poison. We've got to lower our intake of the meat, the dairy, the fish, the eggs, all of that stuff, and really, really, really start to add good quality plant food to our lives. And as I said, one spoonful of either one of these superfood blends, you're getting more nutrients in your body than what most people have in a week. I can guarantee that this will be a game changer for your life. You know, you can't thrive in life. You can survive without this stuff. Of course you can. You know, you can survive living on meat and dairy, but you can't thrive on it. And, you know, you guys have given me your time on this call here. And, you know, I want to give you what I've got. You know, I would never try and push something unless I knew it was going to serve you at the highest level. So if there are any more questions, I'm just going to go down. Dun, 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 dun. Or am I going to go up? Oh, maybe I'm going the wrong way. So yeah, where it says Pixie, she goes, I leave for Florida on Monday. If you ordered it now, they'll be sent out tomorrow, and you'll have them in in sort of 2 days, 2 or 3 days. So if you want to take them to Florida, you certainly can. I think that is about it, guys. So, yep, Samantha, she says, yes, thanks, Kit. Looking forward to seeing the difference. You will notice a difference. There's no doubt about it. You know, there's a cause and effect to all what we do, and you're going to notice a huge difference. So, guys, thank you so much for your time. And I just want to say, I know we went through a lot. I mean, think about it. We've just been here for an hour. Think about what we've just gone through. We've got, you know, just to recap, all of the hidden chemicals that are in our foods. There's certain foods that we're being brainwashed to eat that we need. We now know are doing us more harm than good. And I had an hour to do my best to convince you guys to really make a choice that's going to serve you, excuse me, and your loved ones at the highest level, because you just got to give your body what it needs. And where we grow these foods, as I said, the superfoods, there's no chemicals been sprayed on them anywhere near where they are. And the nutritional value is 200 to 300% more than normal food. I mean, you think about it, just that alone, as you're taking it in, you will get addicted to this stuff. And it's a good addiction. It's addiction where the side effects are health, energy, vitality, happiness, joy, creativity, love, all of these things that we want more of in life. And wow, I can't wait to hear the results and the testimonials of the ones that have purchased this, because it's, you know, it's your body, it's your life, and it's, you know, you guys have to really, really make good quality choices in life. You know, we live in a toxic world. There's toxins in the air we breathe. There's toxins in the waters we drink. There's toxins in the foods we eat. We're creating toxins in these relationships. So we have to start to make really, really smart choices. And when we do make these choices, then you reap the benefits instead of dealing with the harmful effects that unfortunately most people and a lot of our loved ones go through in this crazy game of life. And if you do go on them and you reap the benefits and you love it, and you know friends and family that would like them, come and be one of our ambassadors. Come and join the family. You know, we're now getting things set for the ambassadors so that we can get more people on board to share this message, because we want this going out to more people. And that's pretty much it. You know, that's all I can say around this webinar, which was based around high performance, clean nutrition. Now I am going to start to do more and more and more webinars, and we're also doing more videos as well. So please subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to Skip Barker Media's on YouTube, just hit subscribe. And what that basically means is, as I put new videos out, it means that you'll be sent them directly and immediately. So and they're all for free. You know, we're just giving these videos away, and you know, I'm jetting around the world all the time, so we're doing videos all the time in all areas of life. So guys, thank you so much for attending. Thank you for giving me your time, and I really look forward to hearing the stories of those of you that are signed up, the benefits that you're all going to receive from them. Anyway, I'm Skip. Live strong, live healthy, live long. Make sure you live now. You know what it's for now. The nutrients, oxygen, and water. And for now, I'm out of here.